Postcard from Kashmir. Kashmir shrinks into my mailbox. My home a neat 4 by 6 inch. I always loved neatness. Now I hold the half-inch Himalayas in my hand. This is home, and this is the closest I will ever be to home. When I return, the colors won't be so brilliant. The Jalim's waters so clean, so ultramarine. My love so overexposed. And my memory will be a little out of focus. In it, a giant negative, black and white, still undeveloped. Today we are going to discuss Agha Shahid Ali's one of the most important poems called Postcard from Kashmir. Agha Shahid Ali was the most important 20th century poet. He was born in Kashmir, and he is known for introducing ghazal genre in poetry. Agha Shahid Ali earned his BA degree in 1968 from University of Kashmir, and then he moved to University of Delhi, Hindu College, University of Delhi, and he earned his master's degree in University of Delhi. Your present poem, The Postcard from Kashmir, is from his poetry collection called The Half-Inch Himalayas, which was published in 1987. We are going to talk about in Half-Inch Himalayas once we go through the poem in detail. He earned his PhD degree in 1984 from Pennsylvania State University, United States of America, and MFA, which is Master of Fine Arts, from Arizona University in 1985. Agha Shahid Ali died in Northampton, USA on 8th December 2001. Now we are going to talk about the poem in itself. You might have heard about the saying in English language, absence makes the heart grow fonder, which means अगर आपके पास कोई ऐसी चीज़ है जो आपको बहुत प्यारी है और कुछ टाइम के लिए वो आपके पास नहीं रहती है, तो या आप उस चीज़ से दूर जाते हो, you will feel some sort of liking towards that thing. आपको उस चीज़ की याद बहुत सताएगी. Okay, this poem is based on this very idea. So when we talk about Postcard from Kashmir, the poet here feels nostalgic about his homeland. His homeland is Kashmir. So he was actually from Kashmir, and then he went to USA, he settled there. Okay, the time when this poem was written, it was the year 1987. Okay, and the poet feels nostalgic about his homeland, and because he receives a postcard. You know that in 1980s, postcards were the most common means of communication. The poem reads, Kashmir shrinks into my mailbox. Kashmir has been reduced to a very small area. He talks about this postcard. It's 4 by 6 inches in size. So the gigantic Kashmir, so far as the area is concerned, has been reduced to only 4 by 6 inches. Okay. So what actually he's trying to make us understand is that the postcard is the only thing or only memory of Agha Shahid Ali related to Kashmir. Then he makes the mention of half-inch Himalayas. Himalayas, it's the range of mountains. Even the mount you will find Mount Everest also in Himalayas. Mount Everest is considered as one of the highest peaks of the mountains throughout the world. Moving on, this is home. When I return, the colors won't be so brilliant. It means that the poet is here satisfied with the place where he is. He wants to live there. No doubt he feels nostalgic about Kashmir. This also indicates the postcard, which comes as a kind of solace to the poet. एक किस्म की एक राहत पोइट शायर को यहाँ पे मिलती है कि उसके वतन से सिर्फ ये एक चीज आई है जो उसके सामने है. So he feels much comforted while taking this 4 by 6 inch Himalayas in his 4 by 6 inch postcard in his hand. Moving on, I have just written some of the phrases from the poem. Moving on, my love so overexposed says that the situation, the condition in which Kashmir used to be, it's not in that very condition. It has changed. It has lost its sheen and beauty. It's no longer the Kashmir it used to be. The place, the Kashmir, as you know, is considered as the heaven on the earth. It has changed a lot. It's so overexposed. Overexposed is a term which is actually taken from photography. When we expose the film or the film strip from the camera, when we expose it to light, then we cannot make use of it again. So it gets exposed to the light. Okay, moving on to the next line. A giant negative, black and white, still undeveloped. It is a Kashmir in front of Agha Shahid Ali is a giant negative. Negative is actually taken from photography. Negative was the transparent film strip which was used by photographers to take photographs. So he considers that it's the Kashmir in it is a giant negative. And it's black and white. Again, the poet makes use of here the poetic technique called metonymy. Metonymy here means one thing is used to denote the other thing. Like when we write or when we say crown, अगर हम crown बोलते हैं तो crown signifies for king. If I'm going to talk about Agha Shahid Ali, it means that I'm talking about the works of Agha Shahid Ali. If I'm talking about the Shakespeare, it means that I'm talking about the works of Shakespeare. So one thing refers to another. Black and white here stands for the past history of Kashmir, which has remained unimpressive for the poet. So the poet was not satisfied with the early history of Kashmir. So that's why he makes use of here the black and white, where he considers Kashmir as a place which has chaos, poverty, distress, and misery. And he considers this place that this is not going to develop, or this is still undeveloped. Moving on to the next, still undeveloped. He says that it's a place which is, Kashmir is a place which is divided between India, Pakistan, and China. So it is a place which is divided. So it cannot develop quickly or it cannot develop rapidly. It will take its time. This is a place which is undeveloped. Moving on, now we'll be talking about the poetic techniques in this poem. As you're pretty aware that whenever poets write poems, they make use of some poetic devices or poetic techniques. Here, the poetic devices first is free verse. The poet makes use of free verse throughout this poem. He writes this poem in free verse. And free verse, a free verse क्या होता है? It's also called as verse libere or the open form of verse. It means the rhythmic pattern of this particular poem is not divided into stressed and unstressed syllables. Okay, so he uses it. So here we can compare Agha Shahid Ali with T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot is one of the most important modern poets of English literature. So T.S. Eliot also writes in free verse. Next is alliteration. Why does the poet make use of alliteration? कहाँ पर alliteration का इस्तेमाल poem में करता है? If you have noticed it, the half-inch Himalayas says that Himalayas, as I have already described, Himalayas Himalayas is the range of mountains. Say that half-inch Himalayas. These words, the initial letters of these words are starting with her. Her sound. Say half-inch Himalayas in hand. So her से start होते हैं ये words. So that means the poet makes use of the poetic technique called alliteration. Another example related with the same thing is with alliteration is she sells seashells on the seashore, which means that these words they start with the sound sir. All these words start with the sound. So alliteration is nothing but the repetition of initial consonant sounds in a line of poetry. Okay, again there is another poetic device that's called a metonymy. Metonymy is when one thing refers to the other thing. Okay, just I explained it that black and white refers to the past history of Kashmir or the past condition of Kashmir. So that is the poetic technique called metonymy. Other example related with the same thing would be when we say that crown signifies the king, or the works of Agha Shahid Ali. The Agha Shahid Ali simply stands for the works of Agha Shahid Ali. This is the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much.